still trying to thaw out a little bit, but this is a great crowd and a great event, and I thank you for it. I've been informed a lot about what you're doing to support education in our state. And I think that's the ceremony that we are really here for today, is to honor teachers who are so deserving of it and to promote the importance of education in general. Now, in a little while, I'm going to be interviewed by my good friend Jay Cunningham from Superior Plumbing, and we're going to be on the stage. What a stage that is. I've never been in that part of this whole development, and I congratulate all of you that are involved in it. This is truly an amazing area here, and one that a lot of people really are like me. They haven't been and seen it. Jay's invited me to the ball games every so often, and I've seen that part, but I never saw this other part of the battery. And there are a lot of people that are responsible for that, and we're all reaping the benefit of their foresight and the investments they've made in it. We're going to talk about education when Jay and I get on the program today, and we're going to talk about why I'm wearing a mock turtleneck. Well, first of all, it was cold. And Jay told me, he says, I'm not going to wear a tie today. But he was smart like me, and he wore a sweater underneath his jacket. But you're going to hear about what I have done, part of what I've done since I left the governor's office, and that involves writing a children's book. It's called Vito, the Governor's Cat. And I decided that a mock turtleneck is appropriate. You know, when you get into the artistes, and the intellectuals, and the writers, I've only written a children's book, so I figured a mock turtleneck was appropriate. If and when I finally get around to writing an adult book, I'll wear a full turtleneck.
Jay Cunningham, owner and president of Superior Plumbing and Services. He's been a wonderful, successful businessman throughout the community and the state here. In Cobb County, starting the business over 34 years ago, and he's committed not only to our local community but many other communities and their support and the ways in which he has given his time and resources back in supporting those communities. He's been appointed to many boards, one of which is the Technical College System of Georgia, back to the education theme there. Wellstar Health, and then also the Cobb Chamber Board of Directors, serving as the Cobb Workforce Partnership and Co-Chair. If you all will please join me in welcoming both Governor Dill and Jay Cunningham to the stage.
It's good to be here today. It's interesting when I think about the teachers and the awards that are going to be given recognition to the teachers, and then I think of Sandra Deal and the literacy piece and all the stuff that Sandra did over the years for literacy. Probably elevated every bit of what it needed to as far as her emphasis from the governor's office as far as literacy was concerned. I think she spoke at all 181 school districts in Georgia, and I think a total of 1,000 sittings reading to students around Georgia in all 159 counties. I think if we think about that for a minute while you're doing your other duties in the governor's mansion with the governor and also doing that. So what an accomplishment that Sandra did. Before the governor and I sit down, I want to acknowledge some folks that are here. Carrie Deal, the governor's daughter. She and I have become good friends. Thank you for all the help with this. My mom is here somewhere. My mom. Once again, I emphasize the issue of kids are the true gift from God. I really think, as I've said it in this forum before, parents are a true gift from God. Mom and dad were great parents. I love you. Thank you. My wife Lee is here. I want to acknowledge Lee. And as I've said before, she keeps me straight, and I'm so proud that you agreed to be my wife. I do love you. Now, the Brenda Deal. I'm so happy you're here. This is the wife of Governor Nathan Deal. I've gotten to know her. She's cooked for me and the governor before, so really appreciate the friendship that we're developing, so thank you. I'm going to sit down. We're going to go into some stuff with regard to the governor and all of his service of, 40, 50 years of public service in Georgia? At least?
Yeah. Well, the first thing they did, they wouldn't come out of the woods. I called them and I gave up on them. I said, they'll come out in the morning. So here they are, Bill and Vito, brothers, in the woods at night. Never been anywhere like that. And they're huddled together, and all of a sudden they hear this, who are you? And Vito looks up and he sees this big gray bird, and the bird says, my name is Oliver. I am the night watchman of this forest. And he tells them something important. This is an important lesson for children. He says, your courage is a candle in the dark. Don't be afraid. You know, children are afraid of a lot of things. They need to know that if they've got courage and they kindle it, it's like lighting a light, a candle in the dark. Well, while they're there, they meet some interesting folks, and I'll introduce you to a couple of them. Okay, there all of a sudden, they hear a voice coming out of the woods, an unexpected voice. Or to be or not to be, that is the question. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. The name is Percival, but you may call me Percy. Bill says, what are you? And he says, an actor, of course, but also a possum, or correctly, an opossum, but no one seems to use the proper King's English anymore. Well, you say, this is unusual. What in the world can a possum teach children? Well, it's not written in the book, so if you get a copy of the book and you're reading it to children, you need to have the explanation for why this is a character there. I'll ask children, have you ever seen a possum? They all raise their hand. Most of them been dead on the side of the road. I said, are they a pretty creature? No. And she apologizes for him falling and pricking him with her quill. And she says, my name is Priscilla. I'm a porcupine, but you may call me Prissy. Well, they get engaged in a conversation, and Vito says, I like to run through the woods and jump over the creek. And she says, I can't do that. My body won't let me do that. And Vito thinks about it, and he says, but we can still be friends. And the important lesson to children is, your friends don't all have to be like you. In fact, some of your more interesting friends would be ones who are not like you, who can't do all the things you can do, but you can't do all the things they can do either. That's a lesson that we all need to learn.